On this edition of Insane Throttle, the Hells Angels, one of the most notorious motorcycle clubs in the world, continues facing off against their arch rivals, the Pagans. This deadly biker war has been going on for decades, with both sides refusing to back down from violent clashes to come out on top of this battle for biker supremacy. We all know the answer: nobody. So why do they continue to fight? Both have lost members to prison and death, so if they're a motorcycle club and not a motorcycle gang, why can't they find a solution that will stop this bloody war?
Ride or die, 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 fly. Know that they ride or die. Cody, what is my guys? Know that they fly. Know that they ride or die. I keep
Yes, the never-ending war, and it's just not the Hells Angels versus the Pagans. It's all the major clubs that are beefing. They have been for freaking decades now, and you have to say, what is the point of you sending your membership in there, getting hurt, thrown in prison, or God forbid being put in the grave? And I think this one really stands out to me, because as you heard, a lot of people have been covering this one. There was a shooting and it's caught on video, in a Dairy Queen parking lot. Have we become so stupid, so ignorant, so self-unaware that there are families that go there and it's not doing nothing to help your cause? Let me tell you, why in the heck would you go to a place where there are families, there are kids who could get hurt? Now, it's one thing that people accept this is what's going to happen if you're in any of these type of clubs, but to throw innocent people that could get hurt into something like this is just beyond me. I wrote an article over on HarleyLiberty.com. Go over there. It's redesigned, the whole 9 yards, where I'm going to be putting some op-eds out that usually can't go on YouTube and some other platforms, but it gives you my thoughts in great detail, especially on this subject. And I have to ask, one of the guys was charged, and maybe I'm ignorant, maybe I'm wrong. One of the guys was an older guy, had a history of 15 heart attacks, 27 years he put in the military, had no criminal record, and now is being charged in a RICO incident. Yes, they're RICOing, man. It's at the federal level right now. And once you try to go up against the feds, you're going to lose. There's a 98% chance of it. It's been a proven fact. So why put yourself into that? And again, more importantly, going back, you had all these heart attacks. Your health ain't good. What are you doing out there banging, man? It doesn't seem logical. You served all those years for our country, and now you got a black eye and your service record to have a black eye on it because you were involved in some stupid crap, especially again at a Dairy Queen. What is it that everybody don't get? And you know what? For me, I have no skin in the game. I'm giving you an opinion. I really don't care, except the fact when you put innocent people in the line of fire, because all that does is bring more heat. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the no club colors type of policy. And I have to say, well, you know, look what's happening, man. Do you really think that somebody wants to put their life savings on the line for you, so you can go around and say, well, you know, this is a good bar? No, they're not going to want that. They don't want trouble, and a lot of other people don't want trouble as well. You always got to look at both sides of the coin, especially the rah-rah cheerleader boys who say, well, that's against the First Amendment. Well, you know, that's for a government type of deal. You don't get a First Amendment if you come into a damn private business. That's been litigated at the Supreme Court level and said, nope, nope, can't do it. The bakery case was one of them. Hey, you know, it's my right to refuse service, as is the bar. Now, if you really look at it, a bar makes its money more on the independent bikers and independent people than they do clubs. So why are they going to throw that out the door? And why are they going to feel like their patrons are uneasy because you show up? Because everybody knows that usually something goes down if two clubs that don't get along are in the same place. And it is unfortunate. But when you bring that to yourself, that's your fault. That is nobody else's. You to bang on me all you want because I'm a creator. I know how it works. But at the same time, don't cry and whine when this kind of stuff happens to you. I really couldn't believe that a guy that old was involved in something like this. That's why I say, man, once you reach 50, maybe it's time to go look for another hobby, man. Go grab a fishing boat, go camp and do something like that instead of hanging around kids that are half your age. What is the point, and what in the hell do you have in common with any of these kids? You don't, this guy's probably going to die in prison. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And like I said, 27 freaking years you put into the military, and that's how you're going to end up is in prison for some dumb crap. And these are the two clubs that were involved were Hells Angels and Red Devils and the Pagans. And it all happened in a Dairy Queen parking lot. And for me, it's beyond comprehension how anybody, I don't care if you're a super supporter or not, would even say, hey, that's right, that what they did, you're just picking on them. I can't see where you come. Now, I'm going to read a little article here. 2 years ago, they launched a violent crime action plan to partner with local law enforcement to identify the individuals and groups driving violence in North Carolina, especially criminal enterprises that support and encourage violence by their members. And then it goes on, we'll keep pursuing cases like the ones that were brought on this, charging violent crimes in aid of racketeering. That's some hardcore stuff, man. That's some hardcore stuff. And I ask in my article, especially for individuals that did time for their club, I always wanted to ask them, was it worth it? Was it worth all those years behind bars for your club? And especially when we know the turnover rate in clubs is just astronomical because nobody wants to deal with the crap. Many won't even know who you are. Was it worth losing your family ties if you had any? Was it worth being free? I get it. There's all kinds of hoopla about wearing a patch until the time comes to pay the piper. That's why you see a lot of people that turn. Now, they linked all this to two incidences. Jonas Padilla in Wake County was shot on New Year's Eve in 2023. And then a couple months later was this Dairy Queen shooting in Wade County. And 16 members of the two are now facing the charges for their alleged roles in engaging in a violent criminal activity. And it was Hells Angels and Red Devils. So again, as you're going into court, and I wouldn't be surprised if one or two of those 16 turn, because they're just not going to want to do the time. They're going to say, oh, you know, it was fun, but I am out of here. I ain't doing that kind of time for you. And some probably quit already. I don't know. But I want that answer. Was it worth it? You know, I wish if you were in a motorcycle club and you did time and you want to tell your story, reach out to me. It would be a very interesting deal to hear your side of the story to find out if it was worth it. I don't know. Go over, check out my article on HarleyLiberty.com. I go more in depth into this one. It's just a shame that these wars have been going on forever. And then at the same time, they all get pissed off when the general public, the news media, calls them motorcycle gangs. Well, if you're out there shooting people and doing it in a freaking Dairy Queen parking lot, what do you think people are going to say? Let me know in the comment section. Very interesting debate this could be. And again, HarleyLiberty.com. Let me hear you over there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go check us out over on X as well as Rumble. Free Speech Saturdays are over on those two channels only at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Rock on, baby.